If you still think that muscle confusion is the best way to get into great shape, I am here to tell you that you may be sabotaging your results by accident. So, what is muscle confusion? Muscle confusion was a big deal in the 90s. It came along with P90X, a Beachbody program that was all the rage. It was a 90-day program that was built on primarily the theory of muscle confusion, which means that no workout consistently was the same. So all of your workouts were built into this rotation. For example, you might have a strength training day, like an upper body day, a plyometric day, a lower body day, a body weight day, a kickboxing day. So the workouts were all varied to a degree that meant that you were never doing the same exercises that week, or definitely not back to back. Everything was built on this really confusing routine, and there was actually a really big chart you got when you bought P90X, and you would chart which day you were on because everything was so confused and it was so built on this theory of muscle confusion. The idea was that if your muscles become accustomed to what you are doing, you will not see results. So in order to keep your muscles, your body, your metabolism confused, then you would need to be following this day by day. I think you remember getting a box set in the mail, and you would be putting in a different DVD every day. The idea was built on confusion, that if you kept your body guessing, that somehow that would make it so that you would lose weight. Because when we're really talking about this, we're talking primarily about weight loss. I think most people did P90X for weight loss, and P90X, even though muscle confusion was around before that, as in a way to break a plateau, it actually became more mainstreamed with P90X, with the popularity of P90X. Now, what isn't always talked about when you think about the results on P90X, I remember those info commercials that were so good at selling you the program. These people in the infomercials lost a ton of weight. Of course, there was always that little bottom line that said results may vary or results not typical, but people would lose a ton of weight. And what I have more of an understanding about now is that there was, if you actually followed the program, there was a nutritional program that came along with it. And so if you were following the nutritional program, which was pretty bare bones, it was like the typical protein and non-starchy veg and all of that, and everything's weighed and measured and all of that stuff, the kind of thing that like kills your soul, the measuring of food. The reality is that if you follow that strictly regimented food plan, you're gonna lose weight. You're gonna lose weight. What kind of weight are you losing? Are you losing muscle? Are you losing fat? Are you losing water? That's up in the air, but you will definitely be losing weight if you just alone you follow their food plan. That is for sure. And I remember listening to a podcast with one of the old trainers from the Beachbody business, and she was just saying how the food part was like the hugest part, and the workouts really were great workouts. They were fun workouts. I remember doing them. But the reality is that the food plays such a huge role in these programs that it's hard to overlook once you have an understanding of that. Will you get into great shape if you do P90X for 90 days or something similar to that for 90 days? Sure. Is the foundation of muscle confusion really going to get you in great shape over the course of 90 days? Just considering the muscle confusion, there's not really that much of a foundational that if you're doing muscle confusion every day for 90 days that works. There might be a little more truth to, if you hit a plateau, maybe go and do something else for a little bit, vary your workouts for a little bit, come back to what you were doing, and you may find that sort of refreshed you and that then you can keep going. Now, as a personal trainer for 25 years, I am going to tell you that the most important part of any fitness routine is consistency. Without consistency, you're really running on nothing. So one thing that P90X really did was it made people very consistent. And that alone was a huge factor in P90X. It's the consistency factor. It's the everyday I'm sticking this DVD into my DVD player and I am getting I think they were an hour long if you include the stretching at the end and the warm up. I'm pretty sure that those workouts, they were a pretty long workout. So the one thing that I think that P90X did was it created a consistency drive in the people participating, and that alone will get you results. You're gonna get results if you're following a program for 90 days and you have the determination to get through those 90 days. That's gonna be the secret. The secret sauce is the consistency. The consistency is the secret sauce, and then also the food, following a very strict food plan that you are not going to be able to follow for your whole life. I think you would probably, after the 90 days, you're like, where's my burger? And you are raring for something else to eat, right? I think we've all been there at some point where we're like, we are done, party's on, and we are going. So what do I recommend for fitness? There's a woman who's hitting perimenopause, going into perimenopause right now, prioritizing, and I would recommend my clients prioritize strength training, 30 minutes minimum 3 days a week of strength training, focused on boring consistency, focused on chest press, focused on squat, focused on row. I have my core exercises that I do with every workout with the goal of progressing in weights for my bone health, my muscle health, my joint health, and then also progressively overloading and trying to better your weights every time you strength train. Once you have a solid 6 weeks under your belt, if you're a beginner, of just working out for 20 to 30 minutes of strength training, just really getting the consistency down and just getting it so that your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles, everything is like really solid before you really start progressing. You want to just have your form down and be really strong when you're starting. So the one sort of good thing about muscle confusion that I covered a little bit earlier is that it creates consistency. We know habits form over a certain amount of time. It can be 3 weeks to maybe 90 days to really have your new habit pinned down. So following something can be helpful because it helps you to drive in the idea that you're determined to finish the program. So you're determined to do the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days of something, no matter what, and you get through the whole thing. And I think the real secret sauce is the consistency. I'm a really big fan of consistency and creating really solid, boring workouts so that you are building the foundation of your strength to help avoid injury, either exercise injury or just a slip and fall injury. It's super crucial. So that is it for me. I hope I answered your question about muscle confusion. I hope that I have helped you consider mastering a handful of crucial exercises so that you can get stronger. And I hope I have helped you understand that there really isn't any magic to muscle confusion besides the idea that consistency wins every time. That's it for me. My name is June, and I'm so glad you stopped by. I would love it if you subscribed. You can click the link right below or write a comment. Do you remember muscle confusion? Did you do P90X? Did you get through the full 90 days? You deserve a gold star if you did. I can't even remember if I petered out halfway through or not, but I definitely bought the videos. Okay, that's it for me, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.